Okay, so um, first, yes, I put more things in my dreads, just to, get that out of the way. And yes, I know that my hair is a huge mess. I need to get it retwisted soon and dyed black again, but I don't have time for that. So I wanted to quickly talk about what I've been working on for writing. Just to give you guys an update. I always feel like it's been a lot longer than it has been, but I have been keeping up with other content on this channel. Although I am kind of starting to run dry a little bit. There's always something I can try to pull from, but it's like really what's worth posting about. I've been trying to post bonus content stuff, post more card game things, um, random stuff that I think about, like unresolved plot points and cut content and stuff like that. I mean, just in book one alone, the amount of cut content is egregious, disturbing even. But I've already gone over a lot of that in some of like the archive stuff. A lot of that's basically just been cut or changed content or how it evolved or whatever. But um, yeah, so I'm trying to keep this channel, trying to keep content coming out on all the main channels. The only one I can't keep up on is Airsoft because that requires much more of me and other people to do. But yeah, like the main channel has basically just been vlogs and vocal covers, and then this. I do have a few new cards that I need to make, a few card ideas, uh, so I can start releasing like the second wave of cards. I mean, the first wave of cards had a bit of an advantage because they had all of the fighters, all of the allies, and all that kind of things. So, like, just taking those away is like 30 or so cards that inflate the number just a little bit. So the first wave of cards had like over 200, and this one I have right now I'm only at like 12 or something. But I have a bunch of ideas. It's just actually sitting down and making it. I remember when I was designing and making all the cards that it was what I was working on when I was taking a break from writing every day in that time that I would be writing, and I would just wake up and I was watching House MD for the first time, and I had that on the side and then the cards in front of me, and it was just like the background noise. So now I can't like comfort watch that show without thinking of the cards, and without wanting to go make more. I've been saying a lot lately, and that's it's driving me nuts. It's one of those things. If you've listened to any of my edited content lately, I just put out the Jurassic World Chaos Theory, which the season one raw reaction. Which, by the way, fucking love that show. Jurassic World Camp Cretaceous is a fantastic kids show, but it's pretty adult at times. But fantastic show. And Chaos Theory is the sequel series, and the first season just came out on Netflix, and I binged it all in 2 days. I could have watched it in one day, but I start watching it late at night. So anyway, I've been cutting out a lot of ums lately. So let's get into what I want to talk about, which is where I'm at right now in this book, the current book, which is still as of now named The Garden, and I'm at the I'm at like the final corner of the story, like you're turning the final corner before the story, peters out and we reach the end of it. I still have a handful of chapters. Two, it's basically like two more main plot points to address, and then like the wrap up after, which is, you know, pretty casual, pretty easy, and it just kind of like fades out kind of thing. But the chapters I've been writing are actually action chapters. There's fighting going on, and obviously, without spoiling anything, it's kind of fights where it's like um, some of the fights in other books stretched over one or multiple chapters for one fight. But what I have going on here is a lot more like rapid pace. The fights are like short bursts, like they're intermittent, and uh, the way that the fights are it's supposed to be representative of the character's growth. Um, like presented with the fear, the doubt, the self hate, um, and then have that be inverted and counteracted with discipline, self care, understanding of the character's own past and failures and shortcomings, and how, those led to the growth and where they are now and all that stuff. So the fight that we're going through is short, and again, not like beating over your head thematic, but like if you look at this character and you know them from previous stories and you go, okay, so I can look at how they reacted to a scary situation in this book and how they're reacting to it now, showing how far they've come. And that's the whole point of it. It's to outline that, but also it's an obstacle for the character to overcome. So it's fun because we get to have a fight scene and we get to see how this character handles the disadvantage of this particular encounter with their air conditioner, with their lack of ability. Ooh, that feels nice. Blowing like straight on me. Uh, so yeah, and then once we get done with that, there's sorry, that's my phone. There's more stuff to resolve after, but then it's just some more character work stuff. So where I'm at right now is, yeah, I'm doing those fight scenes and I'm kind of closing those out. But the problem I'm having, the thing that I'm stuck on and overthinking and doubting, is does it feel repetitive? Does the environment that the character finds himself in too samey as what we've had before? And I know that if you've read my books, you know I like those dark corridors. I like forests, and just claustrophobic, mysterious places, stone and water and dripping and a toxic atmosphere. I like those. I like writing those kinds of places because I'm familiar with them, and they fit the themes of the character. That being in a tight space and with your own breath only escaping only inches from your mouth, and just like the feeling of being hunted, but like there's nowhere to be hunted from, but there's something still around you, even though theoretically like you're in just like a thin hallway, there shouldn't be anything near you, but like whatever have you. Then like being stalked in a forest, or just like the beauty of a forest. And I like writing all those things, but I'm getting in my head so much about thinking that it feels too similar, and in a way predictable, or that maybe when people read it, if having the context of everything else, that they would be disappointed that I didn't not necessarily take a risk, because it's just like an environment, and the environment is only really just it's just the setting. It's where the character happens to be for this, and it ultimately doesn't really matter, because it's not like with this they're in a physical location. It's internal, so it would make sense to be in those locations. But to me, I'm like, is that just me being lazy? Is that me just writing myself in that direction because it's easier? But if I try to divert from it, then it would be the whole point is I want these scenes, with the fighting and with the inner turmoil, and it's like the self-discovery stuff. I want those scenes to be more easily digestible because of how short this book is intended to be. I don't want to drag it out. And if I put the character in a new environment that has to be detailed and have trigger memories and inspirations, and or trigger traumas, then like that would just like drag on too much. And I want these scenes to go by relatively quickly, not because I want to rush the story, but because it makes sense, again, for the character and where they are. They're not so afraid of the spooky environment and of like the feeling of being watched or stalked, so they're not as focused on like noticing all the details around them, like with the way I would go into depth about describing the location or the smell or the feeling, or just the unease. Like the character is has grown a bit past that, so they only give like a surveying glance and they're just moving on, kind of thing. So it makes sense to be in a familiar environment, and it makes sense to have an environment that it's not so overly detailed, because those things don't add a lot to the story, and our character isn't really giving a shit about those details. So but I'm just worried that it's going to feel too quick, and I'm worried that it's going to be too predictable, or like, oh, here we go again kind of thing. And that's really what I'm in my head about. That being said, what I've written so far, I'm happy with. Um, but I'm still, I'm also just finding it hard to write more than like, not I only make it to I like 40 or so minutes is like my threshold of how long I can stay focused to write. And when I'm like at my desk writing at home, um, if I'm on my laptop at the library, then I can commit to 2 or 3 hours easy, as long as I can get up and stretch. But yeah, I think it's because I'm at my desk. I'm not comfortable writing at my desk. I'm not comfortable using my keyboard at my desk. And it's just how my desk is set up. How my chair is, like, my back always hurts. I'm hunched. My elbows hurt because they're resting on the desk, and yeah, I'm distracted by everything around me. So it's like I really do need to just like take my laptop and go anywhere else to write, even just go out in the kitchen and write. But I don't know. It's just it's so annoying. I wish every day I could just say go to the library and write every single day, but I don't have the same amount. I mean, if I get up earlier, if I wake up earlier, then I have the same amount of free time to go and write. But like with the way that my schedule is, the way that my sleep is, I don't have a lot of time to do that, especially with the extra drive, um, having to book the room in the library, having to reserve the room in the library, and the gas to spend. And also, when I'm at the library, I am very partially focused on Pokemon Go, because there's actually Pokestops there and there's Pokemon to catch, because I got nothing near me. So whenever I'm there, I'm like every 10 or so minutes, I'm like, spin Pokestop, spin Pokestop, spin Pokestop, spin Pokestop. Ooh, I gotta catch that, I gotta catch that, I gotta catch that. And that's a good way for me to like break away, do something, and then come back fresh. Break away, do something, come back fresh, because I can't just, unless I'm like really drawn into a scene, unless it's like some real shit going on. It's hard for me to just stare at the screen for more than like say 15 minutes before I have to look away and distract myself and then come back in 5. And I'm just such a procrastinator. It's gotten so bad. But anyway, that's where I'm at right now in writing. I think I broke 200 pages, and now I'm projecting 240, 250. Probably closer to 250, because this is only the first draft, and then when I go back through and do the second draft, there will be scenes that will get expanded upon a little bit, and probably some stuff that'll get cut, but mostly expanded upon. Uh, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and end this though. Thank you for listening, and ooh, that was a good sultry voice. I wish I could do this when doing vocal covers, to do like a low, 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 low. But I can't. I don't know why. I can only do certain voices in certain scenarios. If I'm trying to do the voice, I can't do it. But yeah, I wish I could do it in recording audiobooks, which I know I haven't posted an audiobook in a little bit. I was sitting on chapter 5 for like 3 weeks. I had the unedited file. I had chapter 5 and chapter 6 recorded and unedited on my laptop for like a month. And I put out chapter 5 because I got through editing it while I was at the laundromat. So I had like an hour and a half to actually bust it out. And now I have chapter 6 sitting there ready to be edited, but that's been there for like 2 weeks. I need to record more, but fuck, I just don't have the time. And I don't have the patience to go do it. But at least I have started, so I have to finish it because I started. So, anyways. Bye.